This is the Samsung MovingStyle, and I'm gonna be frank with you, I had never heard about this product until Samsung offered to send a review unit so I could check it out for you guys. And I gotta be honest, it was not what I expected. I thought it was just gonna be some Samsung TV on wheels, but it's actually so much more than that. This is a sleeper product that deserves way more attention, and maybe that's also why I hadn't heard of it before. It's not perfect, there's definitely some drawbacks, but this turned out to be such a versatile product that the whole family really enjoyed using, including the tiny ones, that I'm kind of bummed out about having to send this thing back to Samsung, and I'm genuinely thinking about buying one for the house. Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants.
So before we get into all the nifty use cases we found for this thing, let's get the nerdy stuff out of the way. The MovingStyle is a 27-inch QHD touchscreen, so 1440p, not 4K, and I'll get back to that, with a 120Hz refresh rate. HDR 10 Plus, and surprisingly beefy speakers with Dolby Atmos support. It runs Samsung's own smart TV platform Tizen, so Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, it's all right there out of the box, and of course you can install more apps on top of that. The screen sits on a rolling stand, comes off with a single click, flips into portrait mode, and here's the real party trick, it has a built-in battery that's good for about 3 hours. For connectivity, you've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB-C, and a full-sized HDMI port, and all of that comes in at about $1,199. Right, enough yapping, let's talk about actually living with this thing. First off, assembly. This whole thing took me about 4 minutes to put together, just a few clicks and exactly 4 screws. No swearing. Click the screen into the stand and you're off. And the very first thing I did after assembly, of course, I rolled it straight into the kitchen with me because moving this thing from the studio to the house made me very hungry. I watched some content while cooking and then more content while eating, just by rolling the stand around the kitchen. No hunting for outlets, no cable hassle because battery. And that's when it clicked for me. This is not just a TV on wheels, this is a screen that you can just grab around the house with you while you're doing your chores. Once I was done eating, I wanted to explore the operating system a little bit, so I decided to move to the living room table. I just popped the screen off the stand, again, one click, and boom, I'm sitting down at the living room table to just browse around a bit. The operating system is super intuitive, as you would probably expect. The touchscreen is responsive, and the options honestly seem endless. Use case number 3, ironing. Yes guys, I do iron, especially when I'm making a video about something that can come in handy while ironing. And I can confirm that a giant pile of shirts is significantly less depressing with some YouTube playing right next to the ironing board. All the ironing made me very tired, so I took it outside to chill a bit before the kids got home. Again, 0 extension cords, I just grabbed the screen off the stand and placed it on our outside coffee table thingy. I mean, I've sat here watching stuff on my tablet before, but having a comparatively massive 27-inch screen hits different. And then the kids got home. Guys, the little ones went absolutely bananas for this thing. I flipped the screen into portrait mode and put on some of their favorite YouTube shorts, and our 4-year-old twins, of course, intuitively started swiping along because being born just 4 years ago, these kids don't know any better than to assume that every screen is a touch screen. In fact, I've seen them being genuinely disappointed by a printed photo frame because it wouldn't pinch to zoom. Anyway, the second I turned it back to landscape, they immediately demanded, that's right, demanded, their favorite music videos, and they started dancing like the little monkeys that they are. And here, I think this Samsung screen really shines. It is such a perfect family unit. 1 minute you're looking up recipes in the kitchen, and the next you're rolling it into the playroom so the kids can enjoy it. After the little ones finally went to bed, Patty, Elisa, our oldest, and myself, we went outside to chill for a bit. And Patty and I have been on this old sitcom kick lately, so we plonked it on the table and watched some King of Queens. Brains turned off completely, just zone out and let out the occasional giggle outside in the evening sun. I mean, what's better than that? The audio on this thing is great, by the way. It gets really loud, and I could even detect a little bit of bass in there. One honest note though, the screen does not get super bright, so watching in direct sunlight on a bright day can be very challenging. In the shade or in the evening, no problem at all, but full sun would be pushing it. Now for the nerdier stuff. I took it back to the studio and tested DeX. Now granted, you will of course need a Samsung phone for this, but it runs beautifully, completely wireless. I connected a random Bluetooth keyboard to it I had laying around in the studio. The phone automatically turns into a touchpad, and boom, the screen becomes a proper little PC setup, which got me thinking, would this actually work as an extension to my MacBook Air? You know, like an external monitor setup, and it totally does. One USB-C cable, that's it. Didn't even need to touch the HDMI port, which is great news for MacBook Air users because there is no HDMI port, and that would have meant yet another dongle. The resolution in this setup is okay. It's not great. At 1440p, which is the max resolution, which is where you want to be, everything looks super crisp, but everything's very small, so reading text is not ideal. Video, perfect. Text, not so much. Things look more natural at 1080p, but of course, then you lose that crispness, so it's a bit of a trade-off. It is very possible that a PC laptop handles it better, but I wouldn't know because I'm a Mac guy and you all know how I feel about using Windows. I'd literally rather eat glass from an actual broken window. And then there's gaming. Sure, you can play mobile games on a touchscreen, which is what everybody would have expected, but proper gaming is possible too, through apps like GeForce Now or Xbox Cloud Gaming. I logged into GeForce Now, connected my Steam library, and I played some casual games. Works a treat. And remember that HDMI port, you can absolutely hook up whatever console you have as well. And that 120Hz panel isn't just for show. And guys, there's so much more that I think I can get out of this thing, and I really want to keep exploring it, which is exactly why I'm considering picking one up for the family and myself, especially after Patty, who is not a techie at all, asked me if we were allowed to keep it. We're not, but the fact that even Patty sees herself using this on a regular basis says a lot about the real-life usability of this product. Yeah, of course, I'd love a brighter panel, and at this price, 4K is kind of expected, but I don't think this product is a gimmick. That's what I'm trying to say. I really think that once you've got one of these sitting around the house, you'll find yourself reaching for it all the time. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I don't think enough people even know this thing exists. So let me know in the comments, did you know about the MovingStyle? And now that you do, would you consider picking one up? Really curious to hear your thoughts on this. If you want to check it out for yourself, there will be a link in the description below the video. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Give it a like if you did. And if you didn't, just hit dislike twice. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.